Always lonely, but never alone. Rayne put her best smile on. The show must go on. Break a leg, yakety yak, and all that jazz. Rayne then downs a shot of blue agave tequila, top shelf, while the curtain is slowly pulled open. Blinding lights shine down as the roar of clapping and cheering whistles and accolades fill the hearts, minds, and souls of all those in the room. The lights dim down until only one spotlight is on Rayne. And at that very moment, the entire room was so captivated by her presence and poise, you could hear a pin drop. Her head turns and eye winks. Then the bass drops, the groove kicks in, and all eyes are laser focused on Rayne. She mesmerizes the crowd with her seductiveness. Every man wants her. Every woman wants to be her at this very moment, except for one person in the room, Rayne. And at this very moment, Rayne freezes time in her mind, and all things come to a standstill, frozen in the position they are currently in. The music stops, the lights die down, and she thinks back to long ago. Rayne was cursed. Since birth, she always had some major problems. She was too beautiful. Her kindness was contagious. And to make matters worse, she was an egghead, a literal brainiac. These were the curses Rayne suffered from. This is what ultimately held her back in life and led her down a path she might forever regret and is definitely second guessing. It all started, as the story goes, way out in the desert a long time ago in the ancient West. The saloon was the hot spot, and those that betrayed or dealt from the bottom of the deck were tied to a cactus, face forward with honey poured on them. But no, seriously. Rayne was born like most women these days. She grew up in a mid-sized city. Her parents were not rich, but they did not want either. She took swimming lessons, dancing lessons, as well as various others, too numerous to mention, as you will eventually find out. She was also very active with cheerleading, the debate team, and almost every earth-saving cause you can think of. So overall, it's safe to say Rayne had a pretty normal childhood. Maybe a hint of an overachiever, but nonetheless, a pretty normal upbringing. So how did she end down this journey that led her to the night that she realized might be heading down a path she will forever regret? Dancing was always a very strong passion for Rayne. From an early age, she took ballet, and as she got older, she would expand her repertoire into all genres, including cheerleading. She never tired of it, and she began to feed off the energy of the crowds. No longer did she feel like she was doing it just for her. She knew she had a fan base, even at an early age, and she never wanted to let them down. This was one of her hardest driving forces that pushed her constantly beyond her limits and drove her to constant perfection. At first, being so young in ballet, she loved being adored by her parents and the parents of the other kids in her class. But as she got older, the crowds grew, and by the time she was in high school, she really knew how to play to the crowds, especially the men. This would sometimes get her in trouble with the cheerleading squad, but because she was their key choreographer, they never really punished her all too much, other than maybe a quick talking to in the office behind closed doors. But one could argue how severe those may have been, as onlookers swore they were in there smiling and laughing. After high school, Rayne became very successful quickly in the business field. She was the top real estate agent in the area and was active with the local politics of the small town and even served on several councils. But one thing was missing, and that was the satisfaction she would get from performing, dancing in front of an audience. Oh, how she missed those days and yearned for them. As fate would have it, on a storm cloud rainy afternoon, Rayne, after showing a property, was passing through a larger city, 2 towns over, and with her wipers on as fast as they will go, she still had trouble seeing out the windshield. All she wants is a place to pull over and possibly get a bite to eat. The city streets are wall-to-wall buildings and sidewalks, a pure concrete jungle, and most of it scary or desolate. But up ahead, through the blur, in her windshield, she sees what appear to be neon lights. She can't make out what it says, but so far it's the closest sign of life she has seen, so she decides to pull over and stop in. She rushes from the car to the front entrance, where the doorman immediately opens the door for her. She walks down the dark corridor with a beat thumping louder and louder. At the end of the long corridor are double doors. She pushes them open and makes her way through, where the lights are bright and the music is pumping. She walks over to a table in the back corner and sits, never removing her eyes from the stage. She has been captivated by the dancer, dancing in ways she hasn't quite seen before, but has often fantasized about. Only this is really happening, and she is watching it, and it is out in the open for all to see. And then she sees something that stunned her. A man got up from his table, walked over, and stuffed some money down her unmentionables. How dare that man take advantage of her like that? I'm telling the management, she thinks to herself. Just then someone asked, "May I get you a drink?" Today's specials are 2 for 1 blue agave tequila shots. Tequila? At this hour? Uh, do you have a food menu? Replies Rayne. Sure, I'll be right back with that. By that time, Rayne was so mesmerized by what she was witnessing, countless men and some women, one after the other, gathering around the stage while the dancer continues to disrobe, although she was amazed she could take off even less than what she already had on. But that whole experience left her in bewilderment and awe, and she realized one thing. She liked it. Here you go, miss, our food menu. May I take your drink order? Yes. Go ahead and give me the daily special, the 2 for 1 blue agave tequila. Also, how does one go about getting on that stage? Need a job? Sure, let me go get the manager. He's really nice. As Rayne looks over the menu, the manager struts over and sits in front of her, blocking her view of the stage. Excuse me, sir, but first, no one invited you to sit here. And second, you are blocking my view. Now, I am kindly asking you to leave, please. Spunk and brains, but can you dance? Look, creep, I already told you I am not interested. Don't make me embarrass you by physically removing you in front of all these people. Whoa, hold on now. I think there's been some misunderstanding. I was invited here. I am the manager, and I was told you were looking to dance for us. Well, miss, I can tell you one thing. If you can dance anything like you threaten men with your commanding attitude, then you can definitely dance here. Now the proof is in the pudding. Let's see what you've got. What? Right now? I just stopped in for a bite to eat. Just then the waitress sets the 2 shots of top shelf blue agave tequila in front of Rayne. So what will it be, miss? Are you just wasting my time, or are you serious about this? Rayne downs the 2 shots, places an order for nacho salad and a chicken sandwich with fries, and then got up from her seat and walked to the stage. The manager yells out, "If you're any good, lunch is on the house." As she passes the DJ booth, she whispers something into his ear. As she continues to walk towards the stage, the DJ grins. Then the lights go out and all comes to a deafening silence. The crowd, not sure how to react at first, thought the power was out, and you could hear everyone kind of talking softly among one another in whispery fashion. Then, out of nowhere, the beat dropped, the lights binged, and the soul unleashed was upon her stage. The crowd was so mesmerized, no one moved for minutes. Then, as if the collective hive knew all at once, the entire room yelled, cheered, and clapped to no end. Rayne felt what she had been missing for so long, and this was something she just could not give up. At the end of the dance, there was more money left on the dance floor than anyone has ever seen. She walks back to her table as her nachos are just arriving, and she orders another round of blue agave tequila. The manager is flabbergasted at what he just saw, as she never even removed a piece of clothing, and still the stage was filled with money. This woman was a gold mine. Miss, not sure if you know how this works, but that is your money on stage up there. Go get it. Split it up amongst everyone that's working tonight. I do not want it. I just want it to dance. And that is pretty much what got us to this point, right here in time now, and all becomes unfrozen and goes back into motion. After Rayne winks at her husband and daughter off to the side of the stage, she looks towards the large crowd and begins to give her commencement speech. She always begins with the importance of staying in school and working hard for your community, sacrificing for others all along the way. She will tell them that this was her journey to becoming the first Madam President of the United States and later a prominent leader of the United Nations. But now she is happy to chair the most prestigious Ivy League school. The crowd applauding and cheering her all the way, only this time she is anxious to finish this speech as she has something very important she wants to go do. After shaking the hands of all the graduating students, Rayne and her family rush over to the city's amphitheater. Hurry, I think we are late. We can't be late. They can't start without you. Funny. As they scurry in, she rushes down towards the stage, her daughter already changed in the car on the way over and is now wearing her tutu. Classical music begins to play, and Rayne instructs her dance class to proceed out onto the stage where they all perform like little kids do. There's plenty of laughter, smiles, and cheer for everyone, and as Rayne looks her daughter and all her students in their eyes, she knows she made the right choice and followed the right path and has no regrets, although occasionally she does fantasize about that day, and on those nights, her husband is a very lucky man.